people even do like car chats anymore? Is there even a community of that? I do not know. I'm so out of the loop. I am here to chat about other life decisions that I've made that are probably kind of, I don't know, would you call it dumb, crazy, silly, exciting, frustrating? I don't know. I decided last semester to go back to school, like really go back to school, okay? And when you're 41 years old, I will be 42 next month, and people ask you, what do you want to be when you grow up? It's funny, because I don't know. I don't know. This is what I do know, that I don't want to be a dealer for the rest of my life. But that doesn't mean that it won't happen, okay? I'm logical enough to know that. But it was kind of a challenge, okay? My kid graduated from high school, and the next logical step is like, okay, do you want to go to a trade school, blah, blah, blah. We have a community college down the street. It kind of became a challenge because he was like, Mom, why didn't you finish school? Like, it was so easy. And I was like, well, number one, I have to take like a million math classes because I'm totally math stupid. And number two, kids. I went to school online for a long time, but I take like a class here, a class there. I took psychology, I took like music appreciation, I took a lot of classes, okay? But by the time Meilani was born, she's gonna be 12, that last semester was a joke because my child wouldn't lay down. Like, I would get the kids ready for bed, and then that's when I would settle in to do schoolwork. Mind you, I had small babies. So Troy and May are like a year and a half apart. So when May was born, Troy was like less than 2. So, anywho, I get everybody in bed, and then I go to lay May down, and she would lose her crap if she was not connected to my body. So school was just, that was done. That was it. So then I would go back and do like a production with the theater program, or I would do little projects, stuff like that. What started out as kind of a challenge, then I became morbidly curious. How, what, where, who, when, why. So I signed up at the school. And it turned out I was much closer to getting my transfer than I thought. Anywho, morbid curiosity and seeing a counselor, and I literally needed 2 semesters. One semester was like 19 units. Those of you that know, full-time is 12. I still have 5 children. And then the next semester was like another 20-something units. And it was like, okay, this is kind of silly. So this is for my theater degree. This is what I know about theater. Theater is kind of like going to school to be a doctor. You're there every flippin' day, okay? You're building sets, you're putting on a show, you're running rehearsals, you're in shows. If you're building lights for a show, you're building, designing the whole time. If you're doing makeup for a show, you're designing, yada, yada, yada. So in my mind, I'm like, no, I'll take each semester 12 units at a time and then see where I go from there. See how I do with all of this. So I have a major malfunction along the way. Because I started my educational journey 20 years ago, withdrawals were not as penalized as they are now. Now, if you have a W on your transcript, it still counts toward units of completion. So it's like you attempted that class, you didn't finish it. Even though it doesn't affect your GPA, it affects your financial aid. So I had to do a whole approval process and fight to get financial aid last semester, but I got it. So last semester I did swimmingly. I had 4 classes, I got a 4.0, and I was invited to the honors program. So I'm like jazzed about school, right? Like, I am enjoying the dopamine hits from every A, every good job, every atta girl. That is part of the draw. Now we're into this next semester. Now last semester I took photography and I loved it. And I'm like, oh, maybe I'll change my major into like a fine arts major, focus on photography, have the theater in the background, because I already have all those courses, and then see where that goes. Because in my head, you know, if I finish all of this, the next thing I would think of is like teaching, right? Like high school level teaching. Because the bottom line is I want a job that I feel fulfilled in. I do not feel fulfilled in my current situation. Like, and I have to stay up all night long. Like I'm 41 years old. I do not want to be at work at 10 o'clock at night until 6 o'clock in the morning and then have to function because the pressure is still on. Like everybody expects me to still function, and I'm like, my body feels like I partied all night long last night, but I was at work. And I have such an amazing company that I work for that allows me to only work 2 days, but it's hard on me. It's hard on me physically, it's hard on me mentally, on top of, you know, full-time in school and all the kids and stuff, and that's just what it is. So this semester I am currently on my way to my second photography class. I'm in intro. I am petrified because intermediate. I'm in intermediate photography, and I'm petrified because I feel like my beginning photography was blossoming to beginning, but I don't feel like I'm intermediate by any means. I still need to like use my bar to help me guide if my settings are correctly. Like I don't have the instinct, but I love to do it. I'm also in the digital media class, which I think is going to be very helpful. But I overbooked myself because I was supposed to take an honors seminar class. It's a humanities class about traumas of adolescents, and I was on the wait list. So to make sure I still made that full-time quota, I'm taking the math class that I needed on top of honors environmental science. So I have 5 classes. Not all my teachers are utilizing the syllabus to the best of its facilities, in my opinion. When you're in online format, it is very helpful when the teachers are like, this is when this is due. And then they put it in the Canvas, which is our programming that we, you know, do all of our online classes in. And it'll show you on like the sidebar, hey, to do. And 2 of my classes are not utilizing Canvas in that way. And so it's back on me. It's my responsibility to go back and check for due dates. But oh my Lord, last semester everything was in there and it was beautiful and seamless, and I didn't miss assignments. And now I'm already, we only started class on Tuesday, and I'm already going back and forth and going, holy crap, what's due when? And I'm already feeling like I'm gonna have to drop a class. And I think it's gonna have to be the honors humanities class, because I do need the math class. Like that is absolutely needed, and honors is like my little icing on the cake to make me feel smart. And it's not even that I'm super smart, it's just you're willing to work hard for that extra, I guess. So yeah, I am a mom of 5, 1 adult child who's 19, and I'm still helping him pay for his parking pass and figuring out. Yesterday he was sick and throwing up, and I was messaging his teachers. You know, that's where we're at here. And then, you know, the other 4 children who are still all in school and all have needs, and there's meal planning and cleaning, and my father-in-law is still in my living room and he needs things. And I already feel the pressure when I'm just sitting down and perusing a computer of like, oh, you're doing homework. Oh, it's the worst timing. And I know that my whole family expects me to be available at all times because that's all that they've known. even when I was working full-time. Unless my butt is not in that house, the expectation is that I am there to deliver and give what they need. So it's been a learning process, and I wish I had tips for success for other people, but this is just my little intro on what's been going on with me, because 3 years ago I kind of stopped uploading on YouTube. I didn't really care about buying any more makeup, and if you saw what I just decluttered, you'd be like, dang. But I'm not interested in stuff like I used to be, and I think a lot of us have changed in that way. We're kind of over the consumption of things. So that's where I'm at, and maybe I'll share more of this journey with you guys, and maybe I'll learn some things that can help other people so they don't stumble quite as hard as I am. That's it. That's all. This light sucks. Welcome to Car Chats with Vanessa on her way to school, part 2. I just ate a sandwich. Good old peanut butter and jelly. Breakfast of champions. I'm on my way to my photography class. I'm excited about that. So far, I am in week 2, and this shit's hard. It is hard. And it's not hard in the way of like the work is impossible. It's balancing time. Like, it's hard enough to balance time on education in general when you're dealing with, I guess it'd be the same as, I don't know, any job that had projects and deadlines. But there's all this material to learn and read, and different aspects to that.
Here I go again.
Upside down? Why is it upside down? I don't know why I keep doing this to myself. So I'm bitchy. I have a scratchy patch on my back. And I'm still trying to navigate assignments and kids' schedules and reading time and study time and collaborative time. And because I'm a moron and I'm taking 2 honors classes, there's different levels in that. Like, you're expected like an extra paper or more research based things. So some of my teachers are amazing at using the Canvas interface that we use, and some of them don't use it at all, or some of them are they still haven't updated the dates from the fall, so they've submitted the same exact information or coursework from the previous semester, and so the dates aren't updated. So I'm going back and forth trying to figure out when the hell things are supposed to be due, and it's just like, Plus I'm like hormonal, so I'm like super anxious and like, anyway. And my kids have really been irritating me. And because I live my life, a good portion of who I am is based off of guilt. I feel guilty that I don't want to spend every waking moment with them. And which is just funny because my kids literally will like go off in their rooms and get on their phones and talk to their friends or play their games or whatever. And it's like the moment that they decide they want mom time, they get irritated with me for not giving them 100% of my time. Or my oldest daughter, who likes to tell the longest stories in the world. She'll be like,
So I was sitting with Mindy, and Mindy had a red shirt on.
and and then you're like, why did it matter that Mindy had a red shirt on? Like, you're waiting for that to come into play later on, and it never does. Never does. So I'm sure in time she will end up being a fantastic storyteller. But in the meantime, there are times I'm like, just hurry up and tell the story, get to the point. But then I remember, she's a child, and it's your job to nurture her and not be mean, because then she's not going to want to talk to you. And I always feel this pressure because they go to their dads, Troy and Mazu, on Thursdays and Fridays, 3 times out of the month. And they come back Saturday. And so I always feel like I've got to make Wednesday good, because I don't want their last impression, our last evening together, to be shitty. But again, it's more pressure on yourself. Like, just make it a day. It's a normal day. Every day is a normal day. But that's part of my mental issues. It is so windy right now. There are literal, what are those called? Tumbleweeds blowing down this highway. I'm glad I'm in the bigger vehicle today. But anyway, I just wanted to update you guys. Right now, I am completely over my head, and we haven't even started on any hard work yet. It's me probably overthinking, and then I sit down to get stuff done, and then, my kids are like, meh. So I'm like, do I not sleep, or do I just start locking my bedroom door and be like, don't bug me? Guilt will make me choose not sleep, but that's not healthy. Anywho, I got 20 minutes to get to class. I need to focus. I'm no longer, at any stoplights. I'll check in later.